Good evening, Code fans. It is I, Code Whisperer, aka Mr. Code. In this code along, we're going to make a CSS Triforce. We're going to try and make it spin, and we're going to try and make it 3D. If you don't know what a Triforce is, let's find out. Let's see. This looks like the Triforce. Let's see where it is. Oh man, that's pretty sweet. Where is the Triforce? There we go. So this is what a big old Triforce looks like. So it's 3 gold triangles and it all spins around the center. The triangles have a bit of depth to them. I don't know if we're going to be able to make this depth effect, but darn it, we're going to try. So that is all there is to it. Here we are inside our code pen, and let's make some code. So it's going to be pretty hard to get everything to line up. So we're going to use all the best practices we know from the very beginning to make sure that it's all going to work out. So let's change our layout. Change view. Put these on the bottom or on the top, I guess. We'll get rid of JavaScript. Or get rid of CSS. There's CSS. Good. So this looks pretty good. So let's start by making a pivot, because as we saw, it rotates around a second point. So we'll call it div class equals Triforce Pivot. And no self-closing tag, so just our normal div. Now let's add a little CSS to our Triforce Pivot so we can see it. So I'll just say width is 10 pixels, height is 10 pixels, background color is magenta. And there you can see it's right there hiding all up in the corner. So let's actually take the opportunity to put it somewhere closer to the middle of the screen. Position absolute, left 50%, top 50%. And now it's here and the center of our screen. So this is just kind of the container that we're using to pivot our Triforce around. So now let's make a container to hold the 3 triangles. Class Triforce Triangle container. And we'll give some classes for this. So we're gonna just give it a fixed height. We'll just say width is 200, height is 200. We'll give it a temporary background color as well. Lime green, is that a color? Yes, it's a color. And we'll make our position absolute, left negative 50%. That's of the size of the parent div. We kind of want it to be in the middle of the parent pivot. So make the z index on this 0 and the z index on this negative 10 or positive 10. Where's our little magenta pivot? I want to be able to see it here. Even if we give it a high index or a low z index, it doesn't want to show up. Let's see. CSS absolute element covering. I guess this is just how it's supposed to work. So let's actually just make this board, give it a border so we can see what's going on with both. It's a little bit cheating, but whatever. So there's our magenta square, and here is our triangle container. So let's position this lime green square so that the purple square appears centered inside it. Say top negative 100 pixels and right negative 100 pixels. So that's good. So we have our Triforce container and a place for our triangles. Now let's try adding a triangle. So let's make some classes for this Triforce Triangle. We know we want 3 to fit, so we can make the width and the height exactly half of the container. Give it a background color. We'll just use yellow for now. Doesn't really need position absolute yet, but we'll give it position absolute anyways. And we want the distance from the left, not 100 pixels. We want it to look like it's in the middle, so 50 pixels. That is good. This yellow is kind of hard to see. Is gold a color? Nice, gold. That's cool. That looks like the future right there. So we made triangles before. How did we make triangles again? Something about the margin. Let's see. Border left, 50 pixels solid black. Border right, 50 pixels solid black. And then something about the border top being 0. No, that's not right. Let's just look it up. Css Triangle. So border left. All right, so the left and right border have to be transparent, and then you need a border on the bottom, of course. Border left, transparent. Wait, why does this make a triangle? Just need width and height and everything. All right, let's just copy this CSS straight up. Great, so it does work. We do have a tiny little triangle here. Let's make our tiny little triangle look like our real triangle. Don't need any of this. So we want here 100 and 100 and 100. Makes it good. It's the right height, but it's 2 times 2y wide. So what if we make border bottom 50 pixels? No. Both of these 50 pixels. Great, and that's basically the right shape for our Triforce piece. Say position absolute. And will 50 pixels work for left 50 pixels? That's good. Let's make this color gold. And now we have a first triangle to our Triforce. Now the question on my mind is what's going to happen when we make this pivot spin? Is the triangle going to spin right? Is the other half going to disappear? What's going to happen? So let's find out. We'll give this Triforce pivot an it's all tangled up. Still all tangled up. It's a big tangly mess, this cable. All right, so we'll give it an animation of spin 1 second linear, and now we'll define our classes for spin. Add keyframes spin, and we'll say 0% is transform rotate 0 degrees. Well, let's be clear, rotate x. And then at 100, 359. Cool. So that's almost there, but that should be rotate y. It's like we're rotating it around a magical little pole that's stuck through the center. And if we looked at the pole, it would look like the y-axis of a chart. Okay, so that's good. So we want it to spin infinitely and make it a lot slower. Cool. So there's the first part of our Triforce. It's pretty flat, but hey, it does the job. So the question on my mind is, can we make these 3D? And I really don't know if that's going to work given the limitations of CSS. I really don't know about this one, guys. Making it 3D is going to make it really complicated. Let's see, what's going on here? Get rid of this code. All right, let's see if we can bring this yellow triangle forward a little bit. Transform, translate z, 10 pixels. That's definitely not right. 100 pixels. So we want it to appear to be kind of in front of the thing, but right now it's all looking totally flat. Is it no pix, just 100? Let's inspect this. Yeah, it doesn't seem to want to come forward. I think that's just how CSS works. CSS isn't going to really let us make a robust 3D Triforce. We should have, and perhaps will use, 3JS in a later video, that is. Let's just try something else. CSS, translate, bring to foreground. Something called WebKit perspective. That doesn't look right. Okay, let's try a different tag. CSS translate Z. Does this even work? Here's an example. So transform perspective. So we need to give it a perspective transform. I never even heard of that transform. But translate Z is in pixels. All right, whatever. Let's see what happens if we give it a perspective like it wanted. So it seems to be a bit bigger, but as you can see, it's just, there's no 3D here. It's not going to really be a 3D Triforce. We're going to try again with 3JS for the 3D Triforce. In this case, though, let's be happy with a 2D spinning Triforce. So I'll get rid of this transform. Don't need that. That's looking good. So let's give this triangle a class. Triforce Triangle. And so we'll now make another class for .top. And we want to just have the positioning info here in this top class. Then we'll make another one for .left and just eyeball the positioning. So it should be left 0 pixels right up on the left, but it should be about its height from the top. So top 100 pixels. And now we'll make another triangle. This doesn't need any children, so we'll make that smaller. Triforce Triangle .left. All right, I love it when things just work the first time. So here is our leftmost Triforce Triangle. It's just doing its thing right here. So given what we figured out here, it should be pretty easy to make our right triangle. I wonder if we can just say right 0 pixels and be done with it. Let's make a new div tag. All right, so there they are. They're perfectly aligned. They are spinning. That's as far as we're going to take the 3D-ness of it, but we'll still try to glitz it up. So let's get rid of these helpful colors. No magenta. None of that. And you know what? I'm just going to kind of make this bob up in the air because, you know, I'm just funny like that. Top 50%, top 45%. So now it's spinning, but gets all the way to the top and bounces back down. Right. 50%. Top is 45. And at 100%, top is back to 50. So now it's just going to do its thing and kind of hover and float. That was just for fun. Let's get rid of this lime green border that we don't need. Nice. So that's cool. Other than the fact that it's a little bit flat, it's a cool looking, slick old Triforce. So I guess the last thing I want to do is give them kind of this gold gradient rather than just this solid gold color. So let's see how easily and quickly we can do that. Css Gold Gradient. Okay, that was easy. I don't know what this is supposed to do. Let's try a different one. Another code pen. Thank you, code penians. All right, this looks like the color that we want for our thingamabob. So let's just copy this in. Is it going to work? I think it's just going to work if we get rid of this. Oh no, but wait, it's the border. Ah, curses. That's not going to work. So sadly, the CSS border hack we use to make these triangles just makes it hard to kind of style our things. It's all a hack. So is this as far as we're going to take it? Let's see. CSS gradient border. Gradient borders. So you can do a border image, which is just nuts. Let's see if this even works. I don't think it's going to work at all. Whoa, it sort of worked. Now it's just doing its big old crazy thing here. To black and gold. Right. Okay, that's cool. So when we make it a gradient, goodbye triangle-iness. because this is just the best it's got. All right, so I'm going to call this CodePen an unqualified success. It's not 3D, but otherwise it's a pretty handsome spinning Triforce with a little up and down bobbing action. You can use it on your webpage or just for fun, delight all your friends. So please subscribe. Check out the link in the description for an extra special value offer available at Pluralsight. And I will see you in the next code along. Well, maybe we'll make this properly 3D.